No, clicker is right here. For some reason, you keep putting it over here. That's actually a little remote.
So I read the book Novel Causes by Rankin, and this is a crime novel, and it follows Inspector Rebus, who is haunted by his time in the military, especially by the memories from a special mission, which he is repressed, so he doesn't actually know what happens, but he knows that that time is the cause of all of his problems. Like, he got divorced, he has trouble holding friendships and relationships. Anyway, so he's divorced and he has a young daughter named Samantha, and he now works as a detective for the Edinburgh Police Department. And there's a serial killer on the loose in Edinburgh, and everyone's in panic. And the serial killer is abducting young girls and strangling them. So he's on the team to try and find this killer. And throughout the book, John Rebus, main character, gets clues in the mail. He gets little notes that sort of hint that the kidnapper has something to do with John Rebus, and he would get rope that was tied in unique little knots in the mail, and he is sort of familiar with it. He sort of realizes that he knows what it means, but he can't put his finger on it. Anyway, so then after 4 girls are abducted, he gets another clue in the mail, which is a newspaper clipping that lists the names of all 4 girls that were abducted, and he's scanning it, trying to figure out what it means, and he realizes that the names of the 4 girls, their initials spell out Samantha, which is his daughter. So then, his daughter's abducted, and so then he realizes that he needs to recall his suppressed memories from his time in the army, because he thinks that's the root of the serial killer. He thinks that will lead him to finding him. So luckily his brother is a hypnotist, and his brother hypnotizes him, and he recalls these memories. And it turns out that during this time in the military, he was involved in a special experiment for torture. So the army put him in a hole in the ground with this other guy, and they didn't let him see light. They gave him very little food and water. And then at the end of that, he was with a guy named Gordon Reeve, and that's important. So then it was after a couple months, in the hole they played Noughts and Crosses, which is a game like tic-tac-toe, and that's the only thing basically they have for entertainment. Anyway, so then the army decided to take John Rebus out of the hole if he would betray Gordon, and so he did, because he wanted to live. So anyway, so he gets out of the army, and then that's good, and then so he basically remembers that Gordon Reeve, that he betrayed him, so he thinks that Gordon is the killer, and he ends up being the killer, so he catches him, and his daughter's safe. And that's it. So basically the only theme in this book is revenge, and because basically the whole book was Gordon Reeve trying to get revenge on John for betraying him, and it was really he killed 4 innocent girls just to try and get his attention, basically. And this book also addresses Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic technique of bringing back repressed memories, which I thought was interesting that they had about it, and because that was the key to solving the mystery, which I thought was interesting. I don't think I would put this book in the BL curriculum, because I don't think it was very in-depth, and I think there are a lot of more books that could better teach the class, because the themes were pretty straightforward and not very